Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about the Texas border crisis and how this thing is intensifying and could or might lead to a civil war. So guys, of course, a lot of us are paying attention to what's going on with the border crisis. I was in Vegas last week, so I wasn't really in tune. But a couple of people put me on to what was going on, so I started doing research, started looking into it. And it seems to be something that could, not that it will, but could boil into a civil war. Being that the governor of Texas is doubling down and making a stand, and in fact, he's even stating that he's not going to listen to the Biden administration or the Supreme Court, and he's going to add more wires. I'm like, this is awesome. This is awesome to see a state finally stand their ground and tell the Biden administration to go fuck themselves. That is the beauty of this whole thing. But there are some downsides to it as well. We'll get to that in a little bit. But now, we're watching this thing unfold, and if it does turn into a civil war, the likeliness of it getting that far, there would have to be a couple more things to happen for that to even go in that direction. So as right now, we're standing at the crossroads of civil war or just business as usual. If a couple of things happen that can put us on the path to civil war, then I can see it unfolding. But right now, I think we're just at the crossroads. I don't think we're headed down that path just yet. A lot of people seem to think we are. I don't think so, because like I said, with the original Civil War, there were a bunch of things that led to it. It wasn't one event. It was a couple of things that were going on between politicians and presidents, if you will, when they wanted to start breaking off and succeeding on their own, the South, that is. So there were a lot of things that had to happen before that went down. Same thing applies here, right? So we have to wait and see. Now, for those that are not following, two states, Arizona and Texas, were trying to stop, or at the very least slow down, the amount of immigrants coming into their state. So with that, Arizona built container walls, and Arizona added added barbed wire to their border. Texas also added or built void walls, which I don't know what those are, but nonetheless, these two states took action because they're just seeing this onslaught of people, illegals, come across their border. So with that being said, after they put those deterrents in place, the Biden administration sued both Texas and Arizona to get rid of those deterrents. Now, I'm not sure if Arizona took down their container walls, but Texas told the Biden administration to go fuck themselves, which was great. Because here's the problem. The Biden administration, guys, is sitting there saying this is a problem, that there are too many illegals coming into this country. You got these Democratic cities now and states going, whoa, this is a little too much. But when somebody does something about it, they're like, well, you can't do that. Makes no sense to me. Keep in mind, the United States government will back any country that fortifies their border, like the Ukraine. In fact, we gave, $200 billion to the Ukraine to fortify their borders, but we can't put containers and barbed wire to slow it down. Therein lies the problem, because it shows you that the Biden administration has an ulterior motive. This is not something, guys, where they're like, oh, this is a problem, let's handle it. They're like, this is a problem. And then they go on to the next subject. They don't say anything, they don't do anything, there's no action being taken by the Biden administration. But when the states do it, all of a sudden they're like, whoa, we can't have that. We can't have people crawling through barbed wire, like that stupid mother and her child crawling through barbed wire. Like, you couldn't find another way around. You couldn't have a coyote, cut the wires with bolt cutters. No, she's crawling through the wire for that photo op to look like she's crying, and to boot, watching that ridiculous photo, there wasn't any bleeding. I didn't see anybody bleeding unless I missed a photo or two. There's supposed to be a massive amount of razor cuts on this lady, and it wasn't. So there should have been a lot of blood coming out of this lady and her child. So I just think that staged photo was just that, fucking staged, so that people could go, oh, look, Venezuela, she's bleeding, we have to take those barbed wires down. And then they fucking take it down. Maria and her fucking gang, they're also crawling through behind Venezuela, trying to make their way into this country, trying to have us feel bad for their stupid decision on climbing through barbed wire. And again, you could have had bolt cutters, because they have everything else with them. They could have had bolt cutters and cut through that shit. And had somebody with heavy-duty gloves, heavy-duty clothing, clear out the way for them. No. Instead, let's crawl under it like fucking morons. Go fucking figure. So last Monday, the Supreme Court stated that Texas had to take their barbed wires out and to let the Biden Border Patrol, I never even heard of this, but Biden border agents to remove the barbed wires. Now, this is where, again, the stalemate and the path of civil war can unfold if the Biden border agents get into it with the Texas border agents, Border Patrol, or National Guards, Texas National Guards. Then that can be an actual problem if we actually have troops on both sides or agents on both sides going after each other. Now, I don't know if it's going to go to weapons kind of deal or shooting at each other or whatever might happen. I don't think it's going to go that far, but if it does, then the path for civil war starts to unfold. Not saying that we're going to jump right to it, because like I said before, a lot of things have to happen. Now, the downside to all of this, guys, is that this can set, first of all, the market on fire if we actually have civil war in this country. Right? Remember, when the Civil War unfolded, back when it did, there was no stock market. We have a stock market now. That can actually tank the stock market even further or set it on a path to tank. And with that, a lot of things can go sideways with a stock market tanking in this country because we have civil war. Also, you're going to have a lot of people being displaced. Where are these battles going to be held? Are they going to be held by the border? Are they going to spread out? Is it going to start moving in? Are they going to start moving in on Texas from the north and or south, if you will? Sorry, from the north or east, excuse me, right? Or are they going to surround Texas and have National Guards from other states coming in? Or are they going to implement actual military, Marines, and our Army to come in to Texas and start fighting it out with them? A lot of things can go wrong, and this can go wrong on so many levels. Then, how many states are going to back up Texas? Now, we had 25 states sign a letter saying that they back Texas. Those 25 states backing Texas, are they also going to let their National Guardsmen help out in Texas or back Texas up? If the Biden administration decides to send in Marines or Army, whoever it is, or other National Guardsmen are going to get involved and start shooting at U.S. Marines or U.S. Army men. Again, there's a lot of things that can happen that will just be simply bad. And those are the things. Actual Americans killing one another for the sake of freedom. Because that's basically what Texas is fighting for. They're fighting for not just to stop illegal immigrants from coming in, but freedom, for the fact that they are choosing to do something to stop it, and the Biden administration is telling them, no, we're not doing this. They're telling the Biden administration, which is, I guess, a tyrannical government at this point, to go fuck themselves, and that's what they're fighting against. They're fighting against a corrupt, shitbag government. And a lot of people are not seeing that. Now, of course, you got Democrats talking shit. The Daily Beast came out with an article, and I'm like, what in the... They're stating that Texas is pulling the same maneuvers that the South pulled to start civil war. This is from the Daily Beast. And I'm like, how's that so? They're trying to stop a situation. They're not creating a situation. They're trying to stop a situation that's going to inherently get worse over the next few years. And, of course, other Democrats are saying, especially these immigration lawyers, they're stating that this is bad, that we need to come up with another method on letting these people in. Agreed. Everyone agrees to that. But there's nothing being done. No one's coming out with a solution. That is the problem. And that's why Texas said, enough. We're going to deal with it. Now they're dealing with it, and the Biden administration doesn't like it. Now, I don't see the Biden administration. That's why I don't think we're going to see civil war. I do not see the Biden administration pushing this envelope. I don't see them going above this. This is it for them. If they grow balls and start having the military respond to this, then it can be bad. But I don't see the Biden administration doing that at all because they don't have balls. Anyway, guys, this situation is going to get more interesting as the days go by. I am dying to see where this goes. I'm very intrigued. I'm almost excited to see where this goes. There is a side of me that hopes that the United States government pushes that envelope so Texas can respond and other states can respond as well, and militias. I almost doubt militias are going to get involved as well, and this could be a very, very exciting moment for us patriots who are looking at this like, good, Texas is telling the United States government to go fuck themselves finally. Someone's saying it. And that's why I'm excited. Other than that, this can also turn into a shit show in the same breath. Anyway, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.